The calendar dictates that we're not going to be able to play the first 2 series of the regular season, and those games are officially canceled. We're prepared to continue negotiations. We've been informed that the MLBPA is headed back to New York, meaning that no agreement is possible until at least Thursday. As such, camps could not meaningfully operate until at least March 8th, leaving only 23 days before the scheduled opening day. The clubs and our owners fully understand just how important it is to our millions of fans that we get the game on the field as soon as possible. To that end, we want a bargain and we want an agreement with the Players Association as quickly as possible. We never used the phrase last best and final offer with the union. We said to them that it was our best offer prior to the deadline to cancel games. Our negotiations are deadlocked right now, but I'm not going to get into, that's different than using the legal term impasse, and I'm not going to do that.
The entire process has been an interesting one, to say the least. In a world where you are looking to make changes, make adjustments, make improvements based on what it is you're seeing, you understand that you need as much time as possible to work through those things. It's why we started the process when we did in April. It's why we made the core economic proposals that we did in the first part of May. It's why we remained available, whether on Zoom or as the pandemic afforded us the opportunity to meet in person. We made ourselves available then. It's why we sequestered ourselves in a hotel in Dallas with the hope of working toward an agreement. It's why we stood ready for 6 weeks after the lockout on December 1st, ready to have a discussion. It is remarkably interesting against the backdrop of the things that needed to be worked through to find ourselves on February 28th, over the course of the last week in West Palm Beach, working through the issues that, quite honestly, needed to be and could have been and should have been discussed in more depth much earlier than they were. We have work to do. The time here has been productive from the standpoint of having, again, conversations and dialogue that could have been had sooner. And I say that not because the issues aren't challenging. I say that because we've been committed to having those conversations since day one. So again, us being here over the course of the last week, productive conversation. We look forward to getting back to work at it as soon as possible. Being done differently other than being available and making sure that the concerns that we had and that the adjustments that we were looking to make were on the table as early as humanly possible to give us as much time to work through them, yeah, I wouldn't have changed any of that. And let me say this too. Games were canceled today. We have a number of players that are here to my left, and I'm grateful for them being here. And they represent a much larger group that is out there. During the course of a player's career, you only get so many opening days. You're fortunate enough to get one in the big leagues. If you're an average major leaguer, you might see 4 of them. Having an opportunity to play as long as humanly possible and find yourself in a world where now for the second time in 2 years, the schedule is shorter than it otherwise should have been or could have been, is a problem.